Okay, welcome back. So now we will create a module that will help us to change MAC address. So first we will create a class that will contain two functions. One function will give us the current MAC address and the other function will help us in changing the MAC address. So first we will create a class. So I can write class and then the name of the class. So let's call it MAC changer. So MAC changer. So it shouldn't be a method. So now we have a class called MAC changer. Now we will define certain functions that we will use. So first function would be the constructor. So I'm going to call this constructor here, and it will take self, and then we are going to set self dot mac equals to empty. So currently we are initializing a variable MAC with no MAC address, and then we will use this in our program further. So first function would be the function called get MAC address. So this will basically get us the MAC address of the system. So in order to do this, let's create a function called get MAC, and it should contain self, and then we will provide the interface that we want to use. So in previous example we saw that we have an interface called ETH0. So we will provide the interface here, and this will give back the result, which is MAC value of that interface. So we can say interface here, and now the rest process is very simple. We will simply try to run this command on our system, and it will give us this whole string, which is from here to here. Then we will try to search this string using regex or regular expressions, and then we will get exactly this value from this string. First we have to run this command. So in order to run a command on Python, we can use the subprocess module. So I'm going to import the subprocess. This is a part of Python standard library, so you don't have to install it. So I can say import subprocess. Now we can use this method, this package in our program to run the commands. So in order to run the commands, you can say subprocess.run method, and then you can provide commands inside it. So first command is we just want to see what is the current MAC address. So we will just run the ifconfig space ETH0 command. So in order to run the commands, we can give it as a list. So we can say ifconfig, and then the second element would be the interface for which we want to run this command, and then we can set the shell value to false. And lastly, we want to capture output, so we can say capture output equals to true, because we want to see the output, and then we are going to store it in a variable called output. So what this whole line basically does is that it runs this command and it returns the results in this output variable, which is of type completed process. So this is not a string at the moment, remember. In order to get the string format, we can say command result equals to output dot standard output dot decode, and then we will provide which type of decoding we want to use. So we will use UTF-8 decoding. So I think if you don't give an argument, it by default takes the UTF-8 as a decoding, but just to be safe, I'm using UTF-8 as an argument here. So this will return the result. So let's just print it, command result, and that's it. So I'm going to go to the main function, and now I'm going to import this MAC changer here. So I'm going to say from MAC import MAC changer, if name equals to main. First we will create an instance of this class, and then we will try to get the MAC address of the interface. So I'm going to create an instance called MC, and it should be MAC changer. Then we can call a method called getMac, and this will return out or this will print out this command result. So now I have to give the interface. So interface is the same one which we were using previously, so it would be eth0. So let's put the value here, eth0, and now everything should be set up. So if I write python it should be main.py. So there is an error, so it says module has no attribute run. So why module has no attribute run? Okay, so I'm using Python 2 and this subprocess.run is not available in Python 2. It starts from Python 3.8. So I have to create a new environment variable here. So I'm going to call Python 3 -m venv. So this will create a new virtual environment, and this virtual environment will be 3.8. So yes, and now we will activate this environment. So I'm going to call source venv bin activate. So now we have this virtual environment available. So now I can use this python main.py, and now you can see we get the results back. So now we have got the whole string back, which is the result of running this ifconfig space eth0 command. So in next lecture we will parse this result and we will only select this field and return it as a string. So that's it for this lecture.